Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled My Conflict Between My Breslov Hasidus and the Educational Experts. Time and again, I have conflicts with some of the, quote, professionals in the world of education, especially how it affects my Talmidim and Darchei Noam. I'm very, very optimistic in terms of my faith in human potential of every single boy in our school, and children in general. And I am a true believer that with the right amount of ratzon, desire, and effort to succeed, my child can overcome almost anything. Almost anything. And it's a question of the right combination of motivation, inspiration, and as someone guiding the children to make sure they have the right fear that will motivate them, the right love that will motivate them, and with that ratzon to succeed, we can accomplish so much. There are times it's necessary some professional intervention for sure, sometimes chemical intervention as well. But the balance, to me, I'm always in favor of really pushing and encouraging the ratzon. Let's give some examples to make sense of all of this. Child goes ahead, and second grade is not writing so clearly, not so legibly. So very often the lean is going to be, he needs to have OT. That's it. He doesn't know how to write. There may be some truth to that. But ratzon to me is a huge factor as well. Will. What does that mean? What's the difference between these approaches? I'll tell the teacher. He's handing in material that he cannot read, handing in a test that's hardly legible. You have to struggle 3 times the amount of time to read it as everyone else. Make him write it again. Meaning, give him, quote, that ratzon. The ratzon is he doesn't want to write the test again. He wants to be out of recess now. Write it again. No, it's too much. He has to write the whole test, miss all of recess. Don't make him miss all of recess. 2 questions. Write those 2 questions again. Meaning, make sure that he understands there are consequences to this illegible writing. And yes, he may need some professional guidance, maybe not. Each case has to be explored. But until you show me that even though he's working so hard to rewrite his test during recess at home when everyone else is busy playing, and still he cannot make it legible even though he's trying so hard, then already, okay, maybe it really has to be totally in the hands of professionals. But till then, let's make him work for it. I'm a true believer in that human spirit, that the ratzon of the kid, well, right now he wants to go to play at recess. He doesn't want to be doing this every recess. And at home rewriting his material, that ratzon, that will is going to go ahead and help him become a legible writer. Another example, have a child in 5th, 6th, 7th grade. Those are formidable years in terms of the Gemara learning. He's not doing great. So each kid has to be explored for sure to understand what's going on. The family involvement, his study habits, his involvement and success in other areas of learning, all of that has to be explored, of course. But one factor that to me is crucial is ratzon. Is he really trying his best? Is he making that full effort? When I say ratzon, the will to succeed, the will could come from himself. He wants to succeed, or we can help create that will. What does that mean? He's in 6th grade. Most important grade, not just in terms of Gemara skills and training. High schools, that is what they're going to see. They're going to see the report cards from 6th and 7th grade. 8th grade, surprisingly enough, the application process in November to 7, they will not see, during the application process, they will not see the January report card, obviously. It's beforehand. But 6th and 7th grade, during the application process, that's what they're going to see. And I tell a kid in 6th grade who's averaging 40s, the report card you're going to get, if you keep this up, it's going to knock you out. You're not going to be able to get into the same high school, yeshiva katana, yeshiva tichonit, high school that has bugward, not has bugward. That's a whole nother discussion. You will not be getting into those with your friends. The schools are very competitive these days. 40 average in math or in English, Gemara, whatever it may be, a school sees that, that's a red flag. You'll say, what do you mean, Danny Myers? How are you going to tell an 11-year-old that? You're going to put that on his head? And the answer is yes. On a daily basis, no. On a weekly basis, no. But will I mention it to a child? That, listen, you're an 11-year-old. I know you're a young man, but your future's in your hands. And you could go ahead and start taking Gemara seriously. And instead of getting a 30 or a 40 or a 50, you can get 70, 80, 90, 100. You have to work hard. There's amilut, intense work involved. But you could do it. I know you could do it. So he doesn't have the internal will on his own, but I can help bring that about. And I'm an unbelievable believer that each child, unless there's some obvious limitation, there's a retardation, something like that. Outside of that, I'm not talking about that obviously. But outside of that, where the kid is basic, good, decent kid, Hashem gave him a seichel. Once you go ahead and you motivate him where you could bring out the internal fire, or you are helpful with external causes, whatever it may be. But he has that potential to work hard and to understand. Yes, an 11-year-old has the ability to understand. Oh my gosh, if I don't change my path, I'll be saying goodbye to all my friends in 2 years from now. And I'm going to go to a different school than all of them. Baruch Hashem, there's many, all the schools out here are incredible. But he's dreaming right now of this kind of a school. And he's not going to end up there. Yes, I believe that an 11-year-old can understand it. And why do I believe it? Because I've seen it hundreds of times. I give them that message. This is it. This is it, my friend. And sometimes I'll go ahead. And just like with a second grade, a third grade, or fourth grade, I'll say, rewrite the test till it's legible. I'll tell this young man who's getting 30s at recess, doing it again. Till you get a 70 or above, because I know you could do that. No, I don't want to say that. That's the deal. That's what you're going to do. So this may seem harsh, but it's not. It comes from a tremendous love and faith in every individual. And that's what I call being a Breslov Chassid. In shum yeush, there's no yeush. There's no despair. Child can make it. We need to go ahead with unbelievable love and warmth and all the hugs and kisses and all the positive reinforcement to be clear, have demands. This is what we expect of you. Not because we're being tough on you and being mean to you. On the contrary, we love you so much. We have so much faith in you, and we know you could succeed. To be a legible writer, to be a successful math student, to be a successful Chumash student, and a Gemara student. And yes, you could succeed. And when all those kids in a year from now, all your friends are applying to the Maravas and the Yeshua Torahs and the Masiftas and all the other wonderful institutions out there, you're going to be there as well. Because I have faith in you. I have no despair. I know you could do it. And if on his own he's not ready to make the push, I'll help bring that about. I'll have the staff help bring that about. So sometimes it comes into a little bit of conflict with some of the, quote, educational professionals that say he just can't, he's not able to. We have a 20-page report proving that he cannot do this, he cannot do that. He doesn't understand, he doesn't have any conceptual thinking abilities, he doesn't have that ability, and he doesn't have the ability to focus and to have control of himself. And I sometimes admit that his abilities may be more challenged and he may need some professional help, but my general leaning is he could do it. And if he doesn't have the internal will and fire right now, we'll help manufacture it. And with that combination of amazing faith in this young man and stoking the fires of success and some professional chemical help when needed, with that combination and a lot of siyata d'shmaya, a lot of help from above, he's going to succeed. Shalom.